The fundamental misery of being a sardine is not a single sharp pain, but a constant, suffocating pressure. A life defined not by what it is, but by what it lacks, which is essentially everything. It is an existence of absolute zero privacy, zero personal space, zero individuality, conducted in a medium that offers no solace, only a chilling, pervasive threat. From the moment you flicker into being as a near-transparent larva, the world is a vast, terrifying expanse of hunger. You are a speck of potential nutrition in a universe of gaping mouths. Your first and most profound achievement is simply not being eaten, a victory that must be repeated thousands of times a day, every day, until the inevitable failure. There is no childhood, no period of learning. There is only the immediate, instinctual understanding that to stop moving is to die, and to be noticed is to be consumed. This perpetual terror is the primary architect of your social life. You are never, ever alone. The concept of solitude is as alien to a sardine as the concept of dry land. Your world is a shimmering, pulsating cloud of identical bodies, a million silver flashes moving as one. This collective, this school, is your only defense. It is a superorganism whose sole purpose is to confuse predators. Within this swirling mass, you are not an individual. You are a pixel in a dazzling, disorienting screen. Your movements are not your own. A flick of a tail to your left sends a shock wave through the liquid crowd, and you are compelled to flick your own, turning the entire school in a seamless, instantaneous maneuver. There is no discussion, no vote. There is only the tyranny of the collective. If you hesitate, if your reaction is a fraction of a second too slow, you break the pattern. You become the outlier. And the outlier is what the barracuda's eye instantly locks onto. So you swim. You swim until the very act of swimming becomes a meaningless, autonomic reflex. There is no destination, no migration towards a promised land of warmer waters or richer feeding grounds. The school moves because moving is synonymous with existing. The horizon is always the same featureless blue, sometimes lightening to a menacing brightness above, sometimes darkening to an abyssal black below. You are suspended in a three-dimensional nowhere, a liquid void with no landmarks, no home, no refuge. You eat because food drifts into your path, tiny, mindless plankton that you filter through your gills with a passive, constant desperation. It is not a meal. It is a metabolic transaction, fuel ingested to power the endless, aimless journey. There is no satisfaction in it, only the temporary postponement of starvation. The pressure is not just social, it is physical, metaphysical. Above you, the world is a deadly ceiling of light. The surface is a treacherous place where seabirds plunge from the sky like feathered javelins, beaks snapping shut on the unlucky ones at the periphery. Below you, the darkness gathers, a profound gloom that hints at shapes with teeth like needles and mouths that can unhinge to swallow your entire school in one gulp. You are trapped in the middle, in the plankton-rich but predator-infested mid-water, a lane of perpetual transit where safety is an illusion maintained only by the sheer overwhelming number of you. The water itself is a prison. It carries the vibrations of panic, the sonic boom of a dolphin's echolocation click that sends a jolt of pure fear through the entire school, triggering a frantic, chaotic dash that leaves you disoriented and gasping. It carries the cold scent of a shark from a mile away, a chemical warning that turns the collective mind to pure, undiluted frenzy. And the noise. It is a constant, low-grade hum of dread, the sound of a million tiny scales rubbing together, a million frantic heartbeats pulsing in a dissonant rhythm. It is the sound of proximity, the sound of never having a moment's quiet. Imagine spending your entire life in a subway car at rush hour that is also being violently shaken by a monster trying to get in. The conversations of your neighbors are the swishes of their tails and the opening and closing of their mouths. Their emotions are the primal signals of fear and feeding. There is no art, no culture, no stories of the old wise sardines because there are no old wise sardines. To age is to slow down, and to slow down is to die. Life is brutally short, a frantic dash from anonymity to oblivion. But perhaps the most profound suckage, the ultimate cosmic joke played upon the sardine, is the nature of its demise. For all the terrors of the deep, the dolphins, the tuna, the whales, these are at least natural endings. They are the logical conclusion of a life spent in the food chain. You are eaten by something that must also swim and hunt and survive. There is a brutal dignity in this. But for the sardine, this is often not the end. The true horror, the ultimate indignity, awaits. It is a new vibration in the water, one that the collective memory does not recognize. It is not the fluid, powerful surge of a predator, but a loud, mechanical, rhythmic churning. It is a sound that does not belong to the ocean. It is the sound of a net. The purse. Sen net is the sardine's holocaust. It is a wall of synthetic mesh, a silent, descending curtain that appears at the periphery of the school. At first, it is just a slight distortion in the water, a shimmering veil. But then it begins to close. The open ocean, your entire universe, suddenly has a boundary. The school, driven by primordial panic, compresses. The comfortable, life-saving proximity of your neighbors becomes a suffocating, crushing press. The water, your element, your breath, grows thick with your own excretions. The silver flashes become a solid, throbbing mass of scales and terror. You are trapped. The net is drawn tighter, and the world shrinks to a suffocating sack. You are hauled upwards, towards the deadly brightness you have spent your life avoiding. The pressure change is agony, your swim bladder rupturing inside you. Then the air. The shocking, brutal, unbearable dryness. You are dumped onto the cold, hard deck of a boat, a world of grating surfaces and alien smells. You flop, gasping through gills that can only process water, a burning, suffocating pain that is your final sensation. But your suffering is not yet over. You are not even considered individually. You are a commodity, a tonnage. You are piled deep with thousands of your dying kin, a mountain of agony. You are iced down, not out of mercy, but to preserve the flesh. Your life, a tiny, frantic struggle in the vast ocean, is reduced to a future ingredient on a pizza or a sandwich, packed tightly in a tin can with oil or tomato sauce. This is the final, crushing irony. The very defense mechanism that defined your life, the safety of the crowd, becomes the instrument of your capture and the defining characteristic of your death. You lived as a collective, and you die as a collective, but not a noble one. You die as a product. You are not a warrior defeated by a stronger foe. You are a resource harvested by a superior intelligence that you could not possibly comprehend. Your entire existence, with all its fleeting moments of avoiding death, was merely a prelude to this industrial-scale processing. You are a sardine. You never had a name, you never had a choice, and you never, ever had a chance. Your life sucks because it is a brief, terrified interval between two oblivions, made meaningless by the sheer scale of your own abundance and the cold, efficient machinery of a world that sees you only as a number. The ocean is vast, but for you, it was never large enough to escape.